Hello and welcome to the show. Power Hour with GME, as Corey says. Yes, it certainly is. And we're going to start with your favorite index buy. Don't you just love it? 407 spot 30. You know, I should be out here on the social media crowing about how funny it is that it's up here. When everybody was like, it's going up, and it was actually going down at 395, and it got it at 395, and it was like, oh my god, it's going down, and it was going up. And you know what it's like? It's prices. It loves to do that, just to the best of us. You know, I'm not immune from it. And so, anywho, SPY, right, you're at the top side of this broadening downward sloping formation. You've got 4 hour 50 simple approaching the 4 hour 200 period simple. It's crossing it. Price action's been around those levels as they approach the crossing. Hi, I'm sick. John G, you're sick. John G, give me your top favourite ticker and I'll look at it just to make you feel better on your sick day. So, yeah, GME, AM SPY. It's here. It's where we thought it would be, which is fantastic, right? It's actually right on one of these lines, and it's got that little umbrella above it, which you'll remember we drew that back when price might have been like, it was either when price action was down here, up here, or somewhere in this. I'll be posting a trade I have laid out on DRV in the Discord later. It tends to move the opposite of SPY. So during the rally, I see potential entries, especially if we have some more dumping in 2023. Entries on a long on DRV. DRV is Real Estate Investment Trust. 3x short. So you can go long and have a short position, which is handy for certain people. It's cash-only accounts and whatnot. And you've got the 50 simple approaching 200. So there's a gap up to the top side there and a resistance level you'd expect to be tested. You've also got bullish divergence on this most recent low, and you get back above the central line RSI. That might be something happening there. Dave, we'll check it out then. And YVR and Dave, right? No bother, those two, YVR and Dave. So on this particular thing, you know, if you're thinking you're bullish, right, as in this is an uptrend with higher highs and higher lows, which the price action on the screen in the minute is, then you would, you know, be looking to buy the dips, wouldn't it, right? You know, if what you're thinking is those people on SPY, we were just looking at SPY, if they're selling the rally, this is a rally in a downward sloping trend. You know, in a downtrend, you would sell the rally, right? The rally being the way prices move to the top side, sell the rally in a downtrend because the prices, they're moving towards you. It's dead easy when prices are going towards you, but overall they're going down. That's the time to get in low stress entries, right? It's slow. I mean, it's really stressful if you're new to trading that way. But if you know what you're doing, that's how you trade. So, I suspect, right, the first half, the second half, that's for sure. Anyway, right, you sell the rallies and downward sloping trends. So, I think I made that point quite clear. And your friend there, your friend, Merrick, talking about DRV, it's real estate. So, SPY is about to take a huge dump, say to 378, after getting to 411. Perhaps, right? I mean, it doesn't necessarily go 420. We've talked about this, 420. But if it is to dump, whoa, then you likely would get that. Would be because, you know, real estate was taking another leg down, which would mean that you had another move to the top side on this thing. You are below 236. That's important to mention. But then we did talk about this potential W formation coming in at the bottom, which would be, you know, what it's done now. And you'll be looking at then the idea of a wow formation. This is the retracement back down to the golden pocket. So you got that part of it. Oof, suits you, sir. So, you know, for what we talk about here, you got the W, and you've got approaching to, you know, 50% of the retracement into where we would anticipate the bottom of the so it could keep going, right? So there's a little bit more on this little wow signal. There's Jackie Latetes. He loves it when we reveal little bits of details. So we got the W bottom, and we've got the retracement subsequent to that rally, and that being a 50% retracement. And then the idea of a golden pocket, right in there, and then 886. So anywhere beyond the 886, as you can see, that's the bottom where the O's coming in at. Whoa, there's the whole of the O nearly. That reminds me of a song. Just the whole of the O. This is funny. I missed you guys, right? Shut up already. None of that sentimental nonsense. Just hit the like button and, you know, stoicism and all, right? I can see you, tear in your eye. The good old jokes. Those old jokes. That's my tattoo. There he is. President Ronaldo Moreno fan club. Total legend. That the legend behind the mask there. Total legend. You know, there's a few people on this show doing like, or it's not in this show, but in this community who do like as much for Rocky and I as I could say that we do for them, you know, which is a considerable amount. You've probably seen me daily out here, and there's a couple of people who do like, you know, the same amount back. One of them is that person, incredible person, you know. Really, real gift. So real gift, right? So W. Oh, there's another gift. This thing gonna be rocking, right? With this thing, right? And then whatever, right? So 220. So but it's only 4. Right? So so what was the question? We were going to look at YVG or something. What was it? YVR. Here we are, Liquid Media Group. We've been here before, haven't we, John? This is downward sloping nasty thing. Yeah, we've been here and we were like, whoa, this is brutal. Where is it actually? Is it over here? Hello, chart. Yellow pages, eh? Now, there's a business for to aim for. Holy sugars. But it's a 15-second time frame, so well, what would you expect? But 15 minutes? This, we have been here. Right, so this is this downward sloping thing. Bit of a reaction. Cover to center line there. Start somewhere sensible. Daily. Oh, look, poor John's sick. John, is this the cause of your sickness? John. John. Right, so that's the whole extension. There was a little bit of a pause and an inflection point. So when you get back there, pay attention to it. And at the minute you're not there, bullishly divergent. Nope. Oh. Below the center line RSI, and a bit of a downtrend creating new lows. Bit nasty. If it gets worse, it could get real bad, real quick. On the meantime, ahead of that, terribleness, 1.618, you've come back up to that area at the minute already, and it's all very, very, very speculative. So, you know, at this stage, it's a downward sloping trend. So, I mean, I think on something I saw a downward sloping line there. I expect it'll show up again. 4 hour 50 simple below the 200. There's that downward sloping diagonal. Price action's reached that level. Not managed to get back above that. Very simple. This horizontal now is important at 2.4, which is where we're at right now. 10% on the day. Hard to argue with that. Out of the bearish control zone, not yet back above the center line, and if it was, it would be showing you continuation divergence back down again, and you'd be looking for this to be like, oh, if it rolls back below 236 at that stage, it'd be dodgy. And considering where that high comes in, it's at 2383. So you break 24, you're going to 2383. You break that. Well, not great. So that's there. That's there. This is that's. I mean. That's that. So don't think that's going to make you better on its own. Think what you need, John's lots of Lucozade grapes and vitamin D. Sit up straight when you're coughing, and you know, just somebody to put like a little damp cloth on your head when it gets real tough. So you're going to need GDRX doing things. It certainly is Kamaradosh. What else was John looking at? Because I didn't make him feel any better with that one, and then we'll have another check in there. Or is it Dave? Of course it was Dave. Of course it's Dave. Dave and John, play. Some people have been asking about that recently. Anyway, Dave, there's a cross. 2 hour, but 4 hour, what are you saying about that? 200 per moving average? No, 468. That's another chunk up, but it's down today. Is that a bull flag? Not from here. It's probably not. Looks like an 86 retracement, and then hold a 236. So, well, let's take it from this guy to start off with. 50% not yet achieved, so that's what you would be looking for, which would also be your golden pocket from the top of the next guy, 886. This guy's back above a 200 period moving average. At least you've got the golden pocket there. And then from this guy, you've got your 886 retracement back down again. You know, well, you're holding this 236, like I was saying. So I just talked it all through, then I drew it out for you, and you boom. That's the level you want to be holding. Boom, 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 boom. Shut up, Dave. Right where you're there at the minute. So 0.4. That was quite easy. So that number could have been harder to say. Can you see it? You can't, because they've not got this thing on. This magic thing. You can't see it. Oh, you poor things. You don't know what's going on. You didn't know Dave was the ticker. You do now. Look at that magic. Pure magic. You didn't have any idea what time frame I was on. What you do now, you lucky things. You're so lucky. And you had no idea what price it was. But there you go. Boom. Right. Can't ask for more than that. Hey, Dave. Right, so 0.4, right? As you can see, why it was, so it could have been a lot harder. So there's the 200 period moving average, right? That's what you want to get to. This is still holding the 236, so that's what you'd be expecting. That's what you're looking for. If you've got a quite tight stop loss because 4 hour time frame, so not bad, right? And you've got your RSI pushing up here. Come out of the bullish control zone. Hasn't slipped below the center line. So the 4 hour breakdown, below 0.37. Which is a healthy chunk percentage wise. That's like bad. 50 simple then would be the next area to go to. And so, I mean, if you're looking to enter and haven't yet entered, then maybe you'd be waiting. Patience would be the best idea. It's already made a little bit of a move now. It's at a 236. If you take it here, you need an immediate stop at 0.384 or just below there. If it goes that way, it's probably going to 0.37 and then probably going to 0.35, which you don't want to be in that trade. And then you could have entered it there and not held it all the way in between. Why would you, right? It's just giving your money away. And then, so don't do that. And then there's the 50 simple, it's at 0.33. That would be a good test, low risk entry, and it would be come back from this inflection point. But there's a gap there, isn't there? You know, it might even be on the daily time frame. Is it? Let's see. Oh, it looks like it kind of maybe is, sort of, maybe-ish, maybe. Yeah, it is. Look at that, bad mudder. Oh, no, where's Jen? Oh, no, where's Jen? She had some nice comments the other day. Where's Jen? How's Jen? Hope you're well, Jen and family. Look, Jen, they've got this terrible murder on the go. So, overtime, the World Cup's on 3-1. No, Jen, get to work. There's a bad murder on the chart. So, it's sort of like that. I mean, if it loses at 236, I'd expect it to come in around these areas, and then you'd be talking about 86s and golden pockets back doing again. You see me? You see me over here? Yeah, you see me? That sort of thing. Yo, so watch out for that, John. So what are you talking about there? What was this? What did you call this? Adam and Eve bottom trade point on this thing. No. 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 I wouldn't even call this a bottom. Trade spotter. So, no. What's the ticker we talking? Which ticker we talking? Yo, Marina fan club. Is that Bulldoggo? Is that you? Oh, that was back. Shit, look, all these messages since trade spawn. You're a blind idiot. Look, pin corrector, GS short. Wow. Pin corrector, would you go back and check HD again? Betcha, buddy. Jake D. Yo, can we take a look at HD for a pin corrector? Long live the Doomslayers. We can, Jake. Legends. Yeah, nice. Awesome. Case never died, Jimmy Root, please, you freaking betcha. 50 pillanels, there he is. Boom. Bam, 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 boom. Case never died. Merrick, 769. Oh my God, what's going on? It's brilliant. This is like the good old days. Oh, no, I'm going to cry. So, how do you proctology stop bombs? Take fingers up bombs. Right, rectifying the situation. That's just so sorry. That's it. Rectifying a situation. That's so good of them. Right, damn right, Miss. Blew his arse off. Remember, Adam and Eve on DRV. Oh, DRV, does that? Adam and Eve, does that? So you're looking at the potential. This is like a little inverted head and shoulders, which took you to the extension, and then you held the retracement. You've got a little bit of that gap there, aim for. As we're here, and it happens as it happens. This is a gap there. I'm not calling that. That's an inverted. So this here, that's similar deal. It's just messy, and then same thing. So what are we talking about here in terms of this? No, it's close, but not quite. I mean, I like it slightly. I mean, you're saying it. Somebody should invent something that stops that. So no, not really yet. Not yet, certainly, and not really either. So far, but if it goes up, yes. So what was the thing here? So order here. It's the fake corrector. GS short. Oops. poor Goldman Sachs Group. Jackie's on your case, Goldman. Jackie's on your case, Goldman. See that? I think they can take the freaking day off or hell for that a couple of weeks. Don't you can't. Jackie's on the case. So this thing likes to fill its flashes as everything does. As everything does. Goldman. What you like at Goldman? Oh, your feet's too big. There's that song about Goldman, you know. It's like three of us out for dinner. You, me, and your feet. Remember that song about Goldman? Your feet's too big. Remember? Do you remember the song or what? Am I talking to myself? So, right. So, the 236, you hold that. Why are we talking about? Short. Goldman Sachs. Weekly time frame. Back into the bullish control zone there. Volatility is picking up. So. Right. So, like that. Obviously, a little bit inordinate, right? This was a range. That 236, this golden pocket, based on like this move down again, which itself just comes in to the prior low and 1.13 extension. 1.13 extension there, right? Drop that down. Anyway, so that's that one, and you could do the same thing here for the top side, like the extension from the high to the low point. 1.3. You also got this top bit here. This is a 236 from the retracement from its ultimate high as well, which you don't need because we're at this area and it's continuation. Right. So anyway, so you're looking at this and you're saying it's moving to the top side. It's come back down. It's killed that 200 period moving average, or as close as it got to it, and then moved back above the 50 simple. That's good to see if you're belong. If you're all belong. If you're belong. Bring belong. Right. So see, that's the thing. Every internet argument eventually breaks down to the two people saying bing bong at each other, and then they're friends. This is the truth. This is brilliant. This is a great breakthrough in internet culture. You know, so there's still the odd group that argument it results in fascism, but even they can be solved with a quick bing bong, right? So you should remember this if you ever find yourself trapped in an argument from an idiot. So it's awful. It's awful. So there's a 236 and the 50 symbol moving this way. Oh man, that'd be a good target if it was to turn around. Having come back to a previous high and being divergent, which it is. It's in the bullish control zone, but then, you know, is it really? And like, it could easily come back out as a weekly time frame. So, you know, in terms of like, anyway, so it's doing good for what it's doing, right? And I'm not looking at this thinking, wow, immediate short. But what's the question? 350 strike on puts. Well, 350. That's 236 down there. 320. So that sounds not crazy at first glance. Bearish harmonic. He does look like a bit of a harmonic there, Jackie. You know, you see that there. You know, preferably you'd have an M. But there is a W, and you can make it work. You're right with these previous, so, you know, it looks like it. So, I mean, do we want to draw that on there? Ew. Yeah. Oh, buddy. You buddy. Probably could draw this more accurately to you. Is this what you're talking about? That's a bit of a mess, but it's kind of probably right. Best harmonic, but it's a very terrible chart. Stop loss at 390, spot 40, prior high, plus 0.5 ATR, take profit at 335 and 355. Okay, so the prior high is where you put your stop at the prior high. Right? Cool. Also, you'll be aware then that's a potential entry place with like a stop just beyond that using the ATR. But let me see. Stop at 395 prior high plus the ATR. Okay, you got plus 5 point. Okay, sensible. I see a logic. Reasonings, right? Reasonings. Eh? Gone are the days just chucking in stop loss and being, I don't mind about losing £6 and that being the reasoning. It's like, that's not reasoning. It's, you know, if your trade was only going to make you like £2, then that would be silly, wouldn't it? Right? And if you're not even trading in quids, you're trading in dollars, then people would think that guy's completely mad, right? You see, he's completely mad. I'm not mad, but you know, that guy, he might be. So you're looking at this and you're saying, you know, is Jackie mad? No, he's not, right? Go away, harmonic, at the minute. So there's potential. What else is there? Still a terrible chart. It's a little bit inordinate this high, isn't it? I mean, look, see on RSI in that. You know, you didn't even get overbought, and so that's very bullish, or that's a little bit strange. And when you look back, you see it persisted within this period. In this period, it persisted within this, you know, rectangular price action here, more or less, and that made perfect sense with regards to its previous, you know, elasticity that would trade between those levels. Made sense. So above here is like slightly unusual. Are Goldman on their way to taking over the world? You wonder, right? Was this the boom? Is that it? This low here, it was what? I mean, we all know what it was, but it wasn't bullishly divergent. So like, why is this the answer? This was it, right? This is when they took, no, I mean, don't be silly. So this thing, right? So a lot of money, and you would think, right, well, interest rates are going up. So is that not good for financial services and businesses like Goldman? Because interest rates drive profit in these businesses, especially through all the extraneous various business activities they have, right? You're looking for operating profit, and that helps in financial industries if you've got positive interest rates, rather than having to funnel everything through your lending desk and like manipulate stocks constantly. Like it does help a little bit of room, you know. So that's what they like, you know. So you might think maybe it is doing all right if the world is saved, and it is a world saved. Well, I mean, the world is a world saved. The world saved. There's a quick look over here. Is the world saved? Refresh button. Saved? Yeah. No. No, not saved. Oop. That looks like. Yeah. Cool. Well, we did suggest that bonds would be a good buy. TLT and whatnot. Is the world being saved yet? No, it's not being saved yet. So this would be strange if it kept going and going and going. Maybe they would be taking over, which we don't think is happening. So this prior high in at around 425. Where is it actually? You told me in your message. You didn't tell me, you fecker. You didn't tell me. It's at 4 15. What is that? I mean, it could just tell me if I looked at the 412.66, yo. And then the average true range on this, where is this? Average true range on the weekly is not interesting. Daily, give me the daily then. We're into the daily move up, excusez-moi. 745, so $3 onto that. You're looking at a 420 high. The stop loss somewhere around those areas. Did you tell me? 390. Oh, you did. You told me exactly. 390 stop 40, bro. Prior high plus 50 as a prior high. You're looking at this prior high from what prior high then? These areas. No. Not this area. And around here. 390. Wait, maybe I'm reading the message wrong. So stop loss at 390. Divergence. So stop loss 390. Prior high. Take profit at 335,355. So there's an entry. March 24, 350 strike put. Oh, it's the put. Sorry, option contracts. Right. So 350 strike. And stop loss at 390 is what, 40. Currently at 380, 335. So that's quite tight. You're not in it for long, and you've got reasoning for the stop loss. So risk reward works, and the reasoning behind the stop loss makes sense. There is the chance, obviously, that it could come and just go straight to that area because of the nature of it now on the daily being in the bullish control zone still, and on the weekly it sort of looked like it just made it in there. So there's a potential, right, so that it could go to the stop there. That doesn't disqualify that trade, but it would obviously get very close to your stop. And as your stop, then if you're trading options, it's like your stop based on a conditional order. It's like tied to the underlying price of the actual stock. That'd be, I imagine, that's what you're seeing here with the stop at 390.40. Right, so the reasoning on this trade, well, I like that. I like everything that's going there. You've got this, like this is in the context of an uptrend. The reason it's moving up at the minute is because of this continuation divergence, and the price has been in an uptrend, so that divergence is expressed as bullish. At this point, you would have expected it to try and make a move back towards that prior high, or at least test these areas. Some aiming for resistance. You know, you're going to hit the divergence. You're aiming to find. Shut up. You're aiming to find resistance. Shut up already. So at that stage, so far you've come back up towards an 886. See that? It hasn't actually been putting in a bullish flag. These have been quite extensive moves back down again, so it's not fitting any sort of bullish accumulation formation necessarily there. You would probably find that on higher lows and this putting in a ascending triangle, but I'm not seeing that yet. Look out for that and potential for that forming there though, because it is starting. Potentially, if this breaks down back then below 3.72, there's the gap at 366, prior high at 356, 50 simple currently on the daily down at 340. So yeah, that's a sort of good area to aim for. There's previous inflection point in here at 350 and the golden pocket retracement on the prior move. So 350 is a sensible target. I like that trade. 355 and 335. 335 would be back down below 382 here. If we're taking it from this ultimate low, you'd be saying like just to be safe there. Yo, trade buying. Then you'd be saying that's beyond there. And right, that golden pocket and 50% retracement there at 323, 312. What's your reasoning on your second take profit at 335? 335. What's your reasoning at 335? Is this 50 simple? Probably something like that. I like it. 200 period there. You know, if you're going, you could follow it with a stop in profit. If it exceeds 350, then, you know, maybe you want to be moving your stop, you know, just beyond that and seeing if price action does break down again. If it takes it back below 340 at that stage, maybe you are in to just take it there down to 356 and you could maybe see how that trade evolves. Maybe you get it down even further, right? Because, like, you know, if this is rolling over and you're catching a high, you want to keep something in it on that, right? Maybe keep a little bit running on that thing. And if you take profits in, you know, and this is one of the things, like, I don't ever get enough time to do all the things I'd love to do. But if you're trading with a small account and you're looking to build that up and you don't want to take inordinate risks, then one of the things you can do is make the most of already good decisions. So if you're already in a trade that's making, you know, it's in profit and it doesn't cost you money to hold it other than the opportunity cost, and you've got a small account, it's counterintuitive. You want to let your winners run. And in this example, it might be an option, right? It might be if price action slips below 350, 340, then you've already taken some profit off, you know, so capital protection, profit protection, risk management, your general account and your performance rate and everything all together, you're doing all right. You've taken some profit and protected yourself, stop still in profit, then that's the sort of thing you can just let it run, you know, and follow that with a stop in profit. I'd take, if it price struck below 340, I'd have my stop just there around 356, or that sort of level below there, you know. I mean, if your trade strikes at 350 because of option contract, maybe you want to just like get right in there. And then when's the expiry on that? To the 24th of March, right? So, you know, that could be quite nifty come 24th of March, right? That could be quite nice, Jackie, right? And if it isn't, it didn't cost you anything. And so, like, you know, that's a really good trade. I really like that trade. Well, other than what I've said already to necessarily add value, your volatility on the daily is a little bit low. So, you know, does it look like it's going to explode up, right? It would have to express increased volatility already reaching a prior high at resistance. It would have to. So does that look like that's happening? Doesn't it? And then 4 hour, well, let's check it on a 2-day where it would actually give you the answer. Whoa, that's a little bit debatable. So we'll see. 4 hour, got anything down there? Nah, it's definitely not. And then average range has not been trending in a particular way there. It's quite low overall. So it does look like it could easily come back down. You've definitely got bearish divergence here on the 4 hour time frame. I mean, that's easily enough to come back down again. The question is, has it come back so far? This does give us a little element of bullishness. Well, if it breaks that level at 387, then it would head towards 410. You know, 390 is a good place because it's just beyond any volatility. I don't know, taking that ATR and whatnot, putting it in at the prior moves and saying like I don't want to be in this trade if it exceeds the current formation. I can see where you're going for with that, and that would easily be like just down. If it goes straight to 350, jump out of that. It's free money straight away, easy peasy, easy breezy, right? Easy breezy, great, in and out. Jay, thanks, wham bam, thank you, man. But if it goes to the top side above 387, then maybe it is going to push on up to, or 390, I mean, like you say, average range. And then maybe it is pushing up to 411, 412, 416 sort of area, in which case, you know, you don't want to be in it. So a good place for the stop. And then again, you've got the same potential trade from there down again, even potentially the same contract, at which that stage it would be pretty cheap, I'd imagine. So you comparatively, so you'd be looking at that, and then there's no other trend line there to follow. It's just this thing falling back within its range, and it would, you know, could conceivably test that in at around 325. So it's like, it seems like a good trade. Good one, Jackie. Thanks very much. Will we go and check HD again? That, what was that? That was this one. You can bet we can take HD. What have you been doing, HD? Yo, what did we say you'd do? 886 there, 236 here. It's up 1.28%. We don't know what we said it would do, but we've got a draw in here. Where was it? Like, W. It's pretty obvious. This is pretty obvious. It's like ancient aliens. What did those hieroglyphics mean? And when you figure them out, you're like, oh my goodness, the Egyptians were so good at tennis or whatever. Right, so yeah, they were. So the 886. What is that? Yeah. So you're at that. I mean, you're at that, right? But were you there the other day too? I mean, this is like in it around your previous resistance level, an 886, put in a W here, so if you break up, right, great, definitive, you've got everything you needed, double bottom, clear level to break, and should it do so, the elasticity, like, you know, you'd probably be looking at this making an 886 and 1618 extension all the same move like this. Yo, you could at least draw it the right length, but if you're going to make the point, boom, up towards your prior high, it's not all that crazy. 886 retracement, 1618 is like this, obviously higher. 886 retracement in around the same level as that 1618 though. So, you know, something like that, if it breaks up, why do we think this would do that though? I mean, you've got that upward sloping trend line, you failed to make it into the bullish control zone here. If it does though, this stage, I'd be looking for it to move back up and test that 345 level. Probably top side of the golden pocket, which confluent with the 1.1 free extension at 350 if it breaks. Which it's trying to, you know, it's pushed to though, it's not done it, you know, like, and this is where you would expect it to go to, and like it hasn't managed to make it into the bullish control zone definitively there, like, and I would argue with it. And then, you know, and to 4 hour though it will have done definitively, yes. So right, slip out of there, then I'd start its argument, especially with this breaking its own moving average at that point. Yeah, that's point. Right, it's an 86 retracement from that price high too, so it doesn't need to get any further. And then it's not bearishly divergent, but then we'll see with that retracement it's quite strong. You've got continuation divergence, so that's why it's tried again. So this is where it would push to, and that's why it would go there. So in terms of HD, what are we saying? It looks like it's made most of the moves. Like this risk profile is significantly different from everywhere else. This retracement was back down to, what was that? An important 236, was it called that? Where is that? Where's that coming from? This guy. Call it 236. So I mean, if it breaks 315 and then the first, you know, it may then go and break 307, test the 200 period move, which is 294. 86 retracement, golden pocket over here. That would be what typically it would do. You know, we've just seen that on like DRV or something. Like that was the sort of move it makes after failing to catch a move, but not like it clearly looks like somebody accumulating it. Whether or not it breaks down depends. But so at this point, you're looking at perhaps coming back to 288, 287, and a sign of that would be breaking 315, 307 at that sort of. You obviously got those moving averages that would catch you, at least slow it down if it was to make move back down. There's a gap there, is there? Aye, there is. There's also a gap there at 292, so that's beyond a 50% retracement, which then overall means that it's kind of failing at Dow theory. So you would be looking at that little bit extra, and then either in those areas 285 maybe, and then with a stop if you were looking to go like that, wouldn't necessarily be like the trade I'd take. I'd look and see how price action evolved from that point onwards. You know, if it started collapsing, I'd be interested in it at all. Right, and then if it started breaking below 267, I'd be looking at shorts on this down to 234, and then if that didn't hold, right, 190, because it would be in a definitively downtrend and breaking down. But then it's Home Depot, in it, right? And if the value of your houses are going down, right, you're not going to be moving house, you're going to be doing your house up, right? We're going to add value. Oh, we're going to increase the square foot value of this place. Boom, boom, boom. And no, we're not. And there goes your mortgage and net equity. And you should have got on the DRV short, shouldn't you? So, right, home improvement, right? You choose waking up every Sunday morning and doing that, right? Right. Choose that. Choose what you... Right, so choose life. Right, choose life. To Home Depot. Right, so there. Yeah, 886 or 236. I'm not mad. It's all not. So everything's fine. Everything's fine, everybody. So 236. Hold 236. Great. Yeah. It's in at 316. Doesn't hold that. Not so good. Not so good. If it does break up, then yeah, try up 86, 166. I mean, that would be where it goes. Does it look like it's going to do it? I mean, yeah, maybe not. Right? Like, it's just not a fantastically outstanding chart at the minute. If it's at the clear areas where it could break, it'll go to great areas, gives you good clear trades and all. It's just not extremely fantastic. You know, it's not incredibly bullish or bearish. There, daily. What's the Outcome. It's a oh, there it is there. That's what we were saying, yo. 325, 300. That's what we were saying. Right, so look, that's what we were saying. 315 actually, yeah. 325's up. Where is it? So longs are already being incentivized to close, and this is like towards the end of the week. What are they going to do? Probably like close. We should do close would be selling, you know, the option contracts, and it's like because it's an open interest rather than the option contract itself. We're talking about that open interest to be closed out. So it's not like the short is long, long is short market maker world. It's the you're closing out the trade. It's closed a long. It's a sale, and that's it. It's a short, and at that point it's closed. So. That would be downward pressure on price action, especially towards the end of the week, which is what we are. So at this stage, you'd be saying it has to hold 315, right? 325, all well and good, right? It's above there at the minute, and they're in profit, and that's not the question. The question is it going to hold 315? And, this week's very over tomorrow, so maybe. It's been up, what, 0.93? No, not really all that much. 50 simple's approaching the 200. There's a gap in around there. Golden pocket retracement is like 290, so it looks like it's come back to. And then we checked over here, and it said that open interest is like shorts would be incentivized to close below 300. And they would, yeah, even more around 290, I'd say. So that's the trade to look to, breaking down to 290. Boy, that's what I think about it. What were you thinking? Can we look at HD for breakout to left of sir? Yes. And what were you thinking about HD, sir? Would you be able to go back and look? Yeah. What else do you want to look at about it? I think that's some information about it, though. Merrick, 769. That was very good of you. Thanks very much. Oh, yeah. Another milestone. 50 months there. A rare boom. Hello, Mr. Azamat. 50 months there. Look at you. That's longer than a lot of important things. We all love short, hair for shorts. We do. Shorts. We love them. I don't love doing options. Yeah, don't stress. I'd much rather do shares. Yeah, but I don't know how to short. Is there a chance you'd show us how to do something like that? Well, yeah. Well, you don't know how to short because like you count limits. You mean or what? You just no experience of it, so it's the unknown. It's the unknown. Well, I suppose I could just go and like do trade. But that was one of the things when I spoke to a lot of friends right at the beginning of this stuff ages ago now. Not much of a friend, but next person, acquaintance. Those are shit anyway. They're like, just don't show live trades. Just never show live trades. Just don't show live trading or live trades, and then you'll be fine. If you do that, definitely breaking rules and they might come after you. But if you don't do that, then you could probably get away with everything else. So let's short HGEN together, yeah? It's dangerous playing around with the HGEN or anything else. Like, you can get it on the really brilliant bullish news. Then we'll go and just take a wee short, speculate short, just have a wee laugh for sure. But I mean, you really don't like HGEN. You see, you can't take your emotions out on tickers like that. It'll never end well. I mean, I've seen it end well a couple of times for a few folk, but that's not the answer. The answer is never ends well. Don't love shorts. My balls don't love shorts. Yeah, no. Well, maybe they do. I mean, maybe they do. Let's spin this motherfucker. That's trade spotting again. See, from the glory days. An echo of the glory days there. Gotta try and fix the wife's position on it. Yeah, gotta fix the wife's position on HGEN to short it. Fix it to short it to fix the wife's position. Yeah, that's what I need a wife for, right? I can give her all my bad trades. I'll be like, happy birthday, I got you a new account. It's on my old account. Boom, there you go. That's what I need a wife for. Try for my research, short. But yeah, let's help fix your wife's position. Okay, no problem. Let's do that. Trying to figure out a way up my shit and I'll get some kind of cash out of it. Okay, what is the position on HGEN? And let's look at it. My special self-thought meant that I couldn't buy puts, and I found that to be false. You couldn't buy puts, you can buy puts. You can buy puts, buying puts, good strategy. Selling puts, a little bit dangerous. So, but selling premium blows my That's massive different thing. We'll talk about that some other time. But like that's a good way. You know, once you've really got it, you know, then you can do that. Other people do that, and then I've seen a lot of people do it, and they think, oh right, I've just discovered it. I know what I'm doing now. It's stress free. I can just sell premium because I know this thing's never getting to that price, and it's like, and then they come back in a couple of months, and they're like, shit, it went to that price, didn't it? You know, it's like, yeah, it did, didn't it? That was the price it was. You know, mate. Lucky you got a couple of months, usually. We all love shorts. Here for the shorts. Here, we're here for the shorts. Right, so what did I miss? Loads. It's approximately 100 shares at $8 cost basis, and I know it sounds like high basis, but if you double or even triple the current prices, there's a chance you get a break even. That's what they all say, Jackie. Jokes though, I know. Right, we'll have a look at HGEN. $8, okay. Hello, Mr. Tradesman. Hello, Mr. Azamat. Oh yeah. What else then? I may have fucked that up 1 second, got a look. It's 386.99. That was about the other one. So that means I don't have done that correctly. Yeah, I love that message, whatever it means. How should I know? I just fly the drones. Yes, that's a good job. You get paid loads for flying the drones, especially if you're flying the drones that shoot things. And if you used to be in the army and you taught you how to fly the drones that shoot things, and then you come out and you fly the submarine drones. You know the submarine drones? Like they've got submarine drones that spy on people and that. If you the people who work on that, they get paid so much money. It's ridiculous. They get loads of time off. It's brilliant. And it's a dead fun job. It's great fun. That's the job, like. That's the job. You know? And they do it with their mates and that too. Brilliant. Love the TLT call. Good. It was good, wasn't it, Jake? Was good, wasn't it? I liked it too. What's the difference between an ISIS boot camp and a local school? Good question. How should I just fly drones? Ah, that was it. Yeah. You're also the headmaster then. How much is a quid? A quid. It's a quid, so it's one. Yeah, one. I think it's one. I didn't do it. Did you not? That's good. It was like that when you got here. Next year I'll be hiding my advent calendar. Oh, advent calendars. Oh, Christmas. Oh, whoa. This is when I was a kid. I tell you, eating an advent calendar is a lot like making love to beautiful women. Make sure you follow Ronaldo on YouTube. You darn right gotta follow Ronaldo on your YouTube. Oh, that's the fan club. That's why. Yes, exactly. Well, you should be doing a better job, in fact, on that front. We need to see that up at 1,000 pronto. 60. John G. Right? Yeah. So there was other things. John G. wanted to look at some. We did already look at John G's thing. He's better now. He's feeling better. So good, all good vibes. He's sucking them in. It's like the essence, drawing it in, threads through the green stuff. Can we take a look at how we did that route? You betcha K's never died, and there we are. Merrick, just was an estimation. Why are you doing that, Merrick? You're too good to me, Mr. Merrick, sir. It's because we looked at DRV. Sir, we can look at that again now. You did that. So, fit route, yes. Well, we're here on this, so let's see what route's open interest is like. Is it chilled out a little bit? Just pure whack. It's just pure whack still. 9-7. That's not terrible. That though is in the middle. No, it's not. That's not in the middle. Yeah, so you know. You know, it's like that ain't no somebody selling this thing. It's like, well, you know, there it is. Like, and there they are. Where are they? 21 of them there. It's like. I mean, this is expiring this week, so it's not me, but like, you know, I have a cover on little bits of this, which would sort of show up there, and I'd expect it would be like so who is this? Who is it? Well, it's not the insiders, and we've checked that on the regular. I keep an eye on this just in case for a number of different reasons. And then after that, it's still Rosenthal. He's still the same dealio from back in the March years. Yo, shout out Mr. Rosenthal, legend. And we had a look at a couple of other things that they were buying. They would say, and anything else they've been buying and selling, and they ain't selling any of this, even though they're selling other stuff. So it's like, you know, do you work that out? That speaks for itself, doesn't it? What their opinions are. It's like, but it's not. But that is what we came here to check. We weren't coming to check anything else. But that is what our answer was. So, you know, and then I mean, I don't know. Am I even being? Do people understand me at all at this stage? So $9, get above that, positive. Get below 7. You expect it to come back from either of those extremes. It says 6 is max pain though, so there's that. Right, so root point had a little bit of move recently at 7, so support based on the open interest. Tomorrow being the end of the week, you wouldn't necessarily expect it to do a great deal tomorrow. See then opening range if that moves to the top side. probably wouldn't go too far. If it's down again, likewise, this is a weekly time frame. Price action clearly is like arrested at this level. It's done that before. How long have we had now since that low? 6 weeks. 6 a week, see? 6 Z's. So you had this time, I mean, exceeded that low obviously, but 7 weeks, and then to the top side situation then evolved, but you had 6 or 7 weeks there. I don't know if you can call that really an integrated, you know, so like everything else is just a downward sloping trend. This is the first real sideways price action you've had in this downward sloping move, so there's something to be said for that. Not fantastic amounts, but that's, I think I've pretty much covered it with that sentence very concisely. Out of character, innit? Look, so we're hoping for this to do something similar. It's 86. I don't know how accurate I drew that Y signal, or at the time where it was, how much more we'd done. But anywho, let's go A50. 3 day. $8.30. You know, anything that's approached the $9, as the open interest currently says, would still be true. We've come back. Traders have brought it to close below 850. So closing above 850 would be positive. Obviously, that's not yet back above the 9. Daily time frame then, 50 simple. You would be pushing back above there if you were to get towards 850. Which would be the first time price action had done that on the daily for some considerable time. I mean, you did it this once, gap took you back below it, and you haven't been above it since. One candle rejection. So, you know, even approaching it on the first stage with a move to the top side, you would definitely expect it to move back on the first one. And then that was also approaching a prior high, body close at this stage, so you need to have that to look to back down again. There was no solid sideways price action, and that's the best thing you've got to look to. So like the prior high within the formation is still true, 965. And the areas we're looking to above then, just on the daily time frame, immediately we want to get above 785. Open and close above there. Go into this little area, low liquidity towards 8. Push above 8, very good. You know, then you'll be heading towards 850, I suspect. That'd be where it will start to slow down, anywhere between 830 and 850. Open and closing above 9, that would be really strong compared to its previous moves down at this zone. At which stage it could be looking to move back up. Next technical artifact in at around 11. That's a high percentage move. Average true range down at not 63 cents on daily. You know, we're talking about moves like currently trading at 7, talking about up at 11. So, like, yeah, while we could talk about all the other things, and like if it does it make a really strong move, close this gap, and then hold a 236 retracement back, or a 382, or even a 50%, like then I would think it was still very bullish and could be moving back up and test these 21 levels. And I expect ultimately when it does make a breakout, it will be of something of that nature. But does it look like it's done it yet? Well, I don't know. You know, 6 weeks down here, that's like pretty long period of time. But then it hasn't really had anything like that we can compare in terms of sideways price action. The 50 simple is a good gauge. You know, you're just below it. You're below it. Test above it, and when you do get above it, will the trend persist? You know, never has done. So, and like this doesn't count because you hadn't slipped below it yet. So below it, tested above it. That involved also a little bit of a gap. You got a couple of days up there, so bear that in mind. You know, 2-3 days. That's not enough above the 50 simple. Came back, tested it, broke back down. Subsequently, it's never even like held a successful test. And yeah, so you've persisted below that. That'd be a good example of something moving. Now, you obviously haven't tested the 200 at all here. Down on the 4-hour time frame, you get a little bit better picture of how these interact with each other, and you can see the 200 now catches those areas where you were wicking above the 50 simple. And so that's a good area to aim for, and really strong inflection moves. And you see that coming in towards this $11 target, 86 retracement from this breakdown point. And that would be where we'd be aiming to in our first bullish move from these areas, which we would look to get to when you break above 50 simple, which is in at around 758, 785. You get up and close 4 hours above there, you could start moving back and move out top side, back above the basis line on RSI at that stage, which would be positive. But at the minute, you have to be clear, none of that is actually happening yet. You know, none of that's actually happening yet. You do have this trend there. I mean, we were speculating on that, or else it was on a different timeline. But that's still perfectly fine. You know, and getting back above the baseline at that stage, you would suggest it's going to come up and test this 86 retracement, holding that previous. You know, from breaking down here, getting back above the 50 simple, you're right at it now. Lost your own moving average, but I wouldn't say that's significant. It's this 50% retracement on that prior high from this fib on the RSI. That's what you'd be looking at for a really, really early sign. And then 50 simple confirmation, you get that. Is that you also had a positive move on the MACD. Do you have anything like that at the minute? Well, you've got it coming from the right area and across, and you could then test towards that 200 if it got a real bullish inflection. And it's had the double bottom at this stage. It could go for it on W, you know, back for the O. It's just very likely it slows down around $8, $9, $11. Very, very difficult to even get there, but that's the area. And 200 period not having quite made it there yet suggests it might just take another week to try that, should it move there. Or if it doesn't move there, you know, you could see it take another leg down again, in which counts 1.14, 1.618, and you're looking at it slipping down to 6.5, 6 and then 5, which I would say at the minute, you know, doesn't look like it looks like it wants to happen right now, but it's still definitely possible, and it would be if it failed at those levels. Like, it doesn't make it above 785 and keeps getting knocked off it and then comes back and doesn't hold support, then it'll drop. So that's what we're looking at, you know. Personally, my position is still on this and orientated to the top side, and most of those covers I had expired. They were all right trades in and of themselves, but they were all counter trade on my position on this to keep it safe. So, you know, there's no gain overall, no gain. So that's that. So, you know, full disclosure and whatnot. So that's root. Thanks very much for the facts there. Trades never die, sir. And then I suppose 15 minutes, and we're going to get anything in here. Stretched out the MACD there. You know, this looks like a little bit of a rejection. This looks like a little bit rolling over. Lost the 50 simple. Point of control at that point. It has to hold that 7.05. 3% down today. You know, next level down, if it doesn't hold it there, around 685. So it's like 685, 785. That'd be a 1.3 extension here. That doesn't hold down. It's at 674. I very much expect to bounce at one of those two levels. Should it hold the right push down, then you'd be looking at where we currently are as resistance, 7.7, then pushing back up again, 750. And if like those levels below don't hold, you've got a horizontal at 650 and this prior low with this gap, which was filled before, but like as an inflection point, probably bounces if it gets there again. So that's what I'll be looking at short term. Though that won't be any definitive, like for the trend, won't exceed any of the extremes, just coming close to them. And just, you know, this gap here probably, you know, hold that trend line, move back up. I mean, you can see on that you've lost it here, but that's not definitive. On like really, it's this one I'd be talking about. If you do keep the 4 hour and break the above 50 simple, I would be thinking it's trying to aim for 11. So you would anticipate going to 9, 785 would be the good place to look to. 15 minutes doesn't say it looks like it wants to happen immediately, but if we get a good morning tomorrow, maybe. My headache is feeling better now. Good to hear it, John. Good to hear it. What else do I know about anything that you've already asked me about? You esteemed faxers use. Oh, look at all those messages. Speaking of belly fat, I have to go on a walk. Oh my goodness, a walk. Eh? A wee walk won't do that much for your belly fat, sir. You know, just like crisps and stuff. That's what helps belly fat. Crisps, burgers, cheeseburgers. Eat like lots of cheeseburgers and crisps. That's what helps. If you want to buy into a trend, then you want to buy into an uptrend. But that means you need to give up a huge percentage of the move. So speculating has risk. Either way, you do it. True story. True story. Yeah. So, like, you're buying on an uptrend, like, it can easily go back and test its prior extreme at any stage. You know, which is why it's very good to have patience, whichever way of a trader you are, you know, and also not expend all your capital in one shot. Because that's like, you know, the opportunity cost of something else coming along that does fit all of your ideal scenario and whatnot. So it's always good to keep something there for that, if possible, especially if you're, you know, trading for a living. You do want to always have something there so that you're able to take advantage of moves that seem quite obvious to you, along with like the speculative aspect of trading. And again, it is obviously the same deal, but I'm talking about opportunities where you've got a really clear area to manage a stop, which is also really close to your entry, which is also really perfectly in a strategy that you yourself have success with. Anyway, I'm probably not actually adding value, but good message from Rocky there. Thanks very much. Thanks, Rocky and Jamie. We will get more wives back on that backer. So HGEN, that was the one. HGEN. What else did I miss? I wrecked on the UI. That was my loss for the week. For the week. AUY. AUY, what did it do? Moved back up. There's a gap below there. Simples across the 200 4-hour daily time frame. Bullish control zone. 86. Gap there. Inflection point topside. That is where price action not yet made it to, but could do prior highs here. So there was always a tension that would push those ways. Those are ways. 15 minutes. Strong move. This is why you don't want to argue something in bullish control zone, because then it could just go wow like that. Anyway, I don't know exactly what happened there, but I can imagine that would give everyone a headache. That was you, Jake. That wasn't you, John. It was you, Jake. You've not got a headache. You might do now. And then HGEN, $8. HGEN sounds like a lot, but well, I mean, there's this huge thing down here. You know how good you have, you know, woof, woof, and then another one, 14. Daily time frame. Truth is, there's a number on this, though, isn't there? In the bill. It took a while for this to fill, didn't it? 2017. 2 years, right? 2 years for that gap. This one, 15 year and a half or something. Something like that. Who knows? Who knows? Blue knows. This one even longer. When was that? 2014 to 2015. When was that? 21. Only 1 year. Only 1 year. Looked like so much longer. Pa! Looking back, doesn't it? Back in my day, your oranges and stockings. You just edit it up and sing God Save the Queen to the internet. In black and white. It was in black and white. And we only got it for 1 hour a day. So anyway, in this one, I mean, how long did that take? That one took a long time. 2014 to trace one. Why is everything the same amount of time? What's going on, Tri-Spotter? So it takes a while to fill its gaps sometimes, so there's that. That's not going to inspire everybody with any hope of it currently still being 2022. Mind you, this gap was before it, so you know you'll do this one on the way, right? And it does it within a few years typically, but that's nothing to trade on. So daily time frame, not so much. I mean, you're looking at the weekly and you're saying not great. Breaking these prior lows, that's not fantastic. If it did come up again, you know, breaking this downward slope trend line, that'd be insane. If it was to break that, you know, breaking that would be like insane. 200 period moving average on that weekly currently coming in at about 7.7, which is below your entry. So management of that position would have to take account of that fact. If it was to break up prior highs in around 33, that sounds very unrealistic, then you'd be right thinking that. Taking in this guy from the previous low, that was the breakdown point when it failed at 236, 382 at that stage, also matched up with the prior 236. That all makes sense. That support and resistance makes sense. This guy extension 1618 yet? Nope. So also got to bear that in mind. You failed at the idea of holding the 1.13. This guy's at 1618 here, didn't hold either. You got to worry about that. Also on the way back. And you want to be by this thing to manage a position, super difficult, you know. So like, as well as the fact that you can double your position will half your entry price from the distance at the current price and your original entry. So enter at 8, you buy it now, and you double your original position, right? You'd be that closer to 4, you know. Not at 4 because it's not currently trading for 9, but very close to that. And so that's one way, right? But the same sum is like you get twice as rich or whatever, and you don't care about it half as much, right? That's the same sum. And like, there's also other ways of looking at it. Like, if you closed that position now and then opened that position now, you'd have exactly the same position and make exactly the same amount of money should it go back up. As it does now. It'll be a taxable event, which clearly a consideration. So, you know, I'm not saying do that, but these are all things to consider. And I'm not speaking to yourself, Jackie, or your wife, obviously. I'm saying to anyone watching along, like, that's like all these different considerations. Sorry, so don't ever get, you know, it's a sin to put temptation in people's way. And it's very irresponsible to think that you can just solve bad trades with more bad trades. That's not the way it works. And downtrends, just like uptrends, continue and persist until such times as they don't, right? Which has got nothing to do with how long your life is, how like happy you're not looking about yourself, dynamics of your own relationship, you know, or like where you kids need new socks and stuff, right? It's like, and you know, I mean, I'm being facetious there, but I have real bills and they don't like revolve around, like the stock markets don't care about them either, and they're serious. So, you know, the way it is, right? You know, so right. So you want to be trading every hello, Freeze. So you want to be trading every opportunity as it stands, and you know, having a position in something doesn't necessarily make that any easier. Analyzing a chart, having an understanding of what it's up to does, though, for sure. Right, so daily time frame, you got your gap there. Low side of that, obviously, HGEN, right? Let's fuck with people. I'd imagine it got to that gap. That would be a good place to turn around again from. So I'd be weary of 0.8 at this stage. Topside that, obviously, fill at 1.5. I'm not going to draw either of those two. I'm going to go with this daft, stupid boxes. Where are you, boxes? Here are box. Here we go, box. First prefer Jane's bad Jane solving the bad mid is, but is that the top side of it? Anyway, right, it's going to be because I'm not. Why is it so green? I mean, no need for that. Right. So, driving home from work, but they're like, I'm not a jerk. Alrighty. Good man, guitar outside. What a lovely, lovely man he is. Check out guitar outside. He also needs the president of his fan club. I mean, come on. Hey? The trifecta of the musical geniuses. Right, so then you've got this 200 in the gap there. Sitting the gap, sir. And then the prior lows, that's well, getting back above that. I'm allowed to make these jokes, you know. I also oppressed by the British. Jamie looking like he's off the burglar alarm off. Yes. Right. Ain't nobody seen me, right? A little bit woo, little bit wah. Ain't nobody seen me, right? I'm going to not buy this. But if I was, I'd be waiting. You know, you've got bullish divergence here, but is it done for it in the hand? So typically that would lead to it falling off a cliff as it did here. So I'd be very careful. Boom, bullish divergence. Boom, 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 boom. Didn't done. Bleh, bleh, bleh. We sit back and it was really very drunk. And right before the fly, it was a huge little bear. His face is covered in cocaine. Well, he was very drunk. I'm not good at tax advice. Never mind. That's not something that can be given out by someone who's not insurance on. Tax-free investment accounts, I think, typically will aggregate your costs. Tax-free investment accounts typically will aggregate. Look at that. Well, lovely. Yeah. Hey, Rocky, you don't have to give tax advice. Yo. It's difficult. Lots of jurisdictions and whatnot. Rules different everywhere. Yo. I'm rather late. My apologies. I mean, how late are we talking? I'll figure that out. Over an hour late. Has Jamie looked at TLT today? He comes in an hour late. Covered in muck. Shaking his head around. Shouting. Oh, look, there's TLT, and it's the wrong one. We'll go to the right one. There's the right one. Ha ha, Spotter was right about that, by the way. Bang. Boom, bum, boom, boom, bum, bum. If you call TLT, it's kind of like a way of saying you can call the overall market. I even said that, and like not even implicitly, it was explicit. Recently there, I had this big, massive thing. It was a device for blowing smoke up my own arse. I've got one. It's brilliant. I got it off Amazon Prime Day, and I use it constantly to talk about things like this. Look, TLT, this is amazing. That's a brilliant trade spot. That was exactly what it looked like. I wanted to go at 106. What he was right. What a call. Unbelievable. Yeah, that is for the doghouse. You're all right. It's all right. We're all. That's a fast show joke from the UK that Jamie just did. Chatez sometimes just feel the need to explain Jamie's esoteric humor, as it will make no sense to Americans. Yeah, but it's still a good joke, isn't it? Oh, James. It was a fire. It was a big fire. The giraffe with the big teeth. You know, we're very drunk. Very drunk. So what else are we looking at here? See that video I did yesterday and Rocky did yesterday? They were two really good and entertaining videos, right? So, you know, now I would expect somebody at this stage to say, TraceBall, would you please have a little look at, you know, that thing you always look at for me, the Bitcoin futures chart, to say, well, that, you know, won't fell out of that, right? 75%. Oh, we got another one of these coming up for that horizontal level down slope resistance. Oh, well, it's a decision point, isn't it? Happening soon. It's good. Oh, I didn't have access to the markets. Big sad face. Oh my god, do I have access to the markets? Big sad face. I do. In my opinion, the best comedy comes in forms like that. In those forms. Exactly. This form with this beautiful face. And these beautiful eyes. That's what it is. Okay, give it a don't say I didn't tell ya. Boy, Xpeng 27 sold at 44. Yeah, Xpeng. He's having a wee laugh with me about that trade there. Good birthday, that birthday trade, that whomp. You got it at 1.744. This is not Xpeng. This is XPEV. Let's look at Xpeng. Xpeng. Get the actual. Here's Sputter. 44. Nice. Nice. There's a gap there. Obviously, you're aware of that. This is a downward sloping trend previously. Very strong in terms of retracement back against that. What we're looking at so far. 236 is in around that gap. Gap. Back down again. Golden pocket retracement. That looks like a full side of it covered. Okay, with a 50%. 382 nearly. It'd be very bullish. And if, you know, quite close that 50 simple, it's going to have a little bit. I mean, it's only going to be losing stuff higher and only going to be adding stuff until such time as the price action increases below it to the top side. So, you know, if it does hold support levels, could easily meander down a little bit. Price action then find support somewhere in around here. Still put in some sort of a positive inflection. You've got your W now. You want this to hold to 886. That's the, you know, best possible entry on it. And just trading the lows if you didn't think it was turning to the top side, which it kind of looks like it maybe actually, you know, this is more reflective of the overall market a lot. And can I please have my brush back instead of this stupid box? Thanks. Thank you. Right. So yeah, I mean that's good. That would be a great entry. Don't think it's getting there necessarily. That's probably where it would hold if it did come back. And it did. It got there. It's already come back towards that 37.95. So it was very close to that already. And holding the 236 that area. So this is what I mean. That was a great trade you got over very well. Very good, sir. Very, very good. Xpeng. It is XPEV, but it's Xpeng. If you're trading it on Hang Sec. It's the actual chart to look at, even if you are trading XPEV. But it's the same different ticker. It's the same stock. The pink correct, so you'll get like different price because this is in HK and that is XPEV. Yo. Oh, I've got such a raging headache all of a sudden. I also feel guilty sometimes, like talking like someone's trade because I didn't do all the work. But I understand that you and Jamie are trying to help us by showing us very reasonable place. Yeah, betcha. Yeah, betcha. I don't know if my jokes are making sense to anyone. They're not, Mango. Everyone's like, when you weren't here earlier, we all had a 10-minute session. We're like, we have to like somehow not make Mango feel bad because it's great that he keeps making jokes and we love it and all. And like all the other fellow 22, 23, 24-year-olds around, they're like, oh, I really love Mango's sense of humor, but I don't understand it. We were like, yeah, no, we don't understand it either. And we're like, we'll just agree to be nice to you though. And just hope that you keep doing it. But we don't know what it means. Got it. About to say my systems are off. Oh shit! No. Thanks. Right. Did you drink water, Truth Button? I did. Here's a glass of it here. Hong Kong dollars are worth for a lot less than US dollars just because they're so far away. They lose the magic. The longer they're out of America, the less and less green they get, and eventually lose all magic. Spin this motherfucker. Says train on. Oh, so we did it right. We did everything apart from this thing, which, you know, we're going to check in with. It had 26 spot 60, still persisting at this level, failing to break above this basis line. 200 period moving average still floating around 30. I mean, every day that goes by, we're taking a little bit off, you know, prices way down. Am I still drawing it? I am. 200 periods back on this thing at the minute. on the daily. Where's the 200? Just say when. Price action, just say when. It's up here. So every day that we spend below $38, we add to the gravity pulling down the 200 period moving average. At some stage that'll drop below $30. That's bad news. I'd pay attention to that. Price action, if it isn't pushing towards that level or above it at the time, will then be pulling back down below 24. Won't be holding it, probably comes back down 22, 23, 23.30s, and you're dead on cert to test because there's a gap. And then if that breaks, you're looking at 19.30, and that is very possibly the next place I'd be looking to buy some. But we're weary of price action at the time. Be watching and seeing how it performs and behaves. That would be my position at the minute. Intentions. Have a look at that, and yeah. So if that doesn't hold, looks like go for 16 change, right? Now, to talking about moves and why it would move to the upside, we do that regular. 4-hour time frames is holding the 50 simple at the minute, and the 200 period moving average now looking like it is up. I would like to test it. You would like to test it. I would like to test it. I'm pretty sure everyone. There's Ace 149. Thanks very much, Sir Ace with the little black cat. That's good luck. And cats like testing things. Cats like that sort of thing. So I would love to do that. Stochastics, not going to argue with it. It's had to cross there. It's not from desperately far away. Could easily target. I mean, typically that this is the sort of setup that could take you to the 200, especially having just recovered above the baseline type. That's all okay. It's all okay. It's just it's in the context of this downward sloping trend and price action not doing fantastic. So if we get something like this guy here, boom, move up. That would be easily back above that high. So we're not saying it's totally out of the question, but it's not exactly. The conditions prior to it are not ideal, but this particular setup looks like could do it. So we'll see, overall markets, how things work, and SPY being close to 411, which is like a serious resistance area. 420 even more suggests that there's only so much left on market moves to the top side under current conditions. And sure, right, yeah. Like, loads of people are coming out saying, the Fed, they can't possibly keep raising interest. They're going to have to slow rate. And that's all well and good, but there's a number of people who make these decisions, and they don't all feel like that. And thank God they don't, because it wouldn't be, it's like everyone just wants the pain to stop. It's like, why did you go to the dentist in the first place? I didn't want to go to the dentist, right? You guys insisted we went to the dentist because you think regular checkups are a good idea. So here we are at the dentist, and the dentist is like that, drilling into our tooth, right? And what you guys didn't do, but which I did do, was I grabbed the dentist's fucking balls right as he started, and I said, look, we're not going to hurt each other, are we? And he agreed, right? And he knew that he was going to go as deep and as far as he needed to and no further, because if he went any further, I'd rip his balls off. And so he wasn't going to. But you guys didn't have a seatbelt, or didn't have him by the, you didn't. So now it's hard, and you didn't get any Novocaine. You're like, stop it, Dennis. You need to stop the rate increases. And it's like, well, why do you want to walk out there with a hole in your face? Walk outside there around 400, SPY above 400. You're walking around there, a big hole in your face. Like, nope, it's all great. I'm great. I'm brilliant. I'm just eating on the other side of my mouth for the next, for the next 8 years. Just eating on the other side of my mouth there. And I just a little bit of rum slipping away, that'll do. No, that's not what happens, right? You went through, the dentist, they don't want to be staring at your smelly mouth for nothing, so let them do the job, right? You can't pause the rate increases until you fix the fucking problem, right? And they caused the problem, so then they're not going to, are they? They are going to slow the increase. It's all going to go, we're going to 420, So yeah, I don't think think there's an awful lot of volatility left on SPY. So the long way around, I was trying to make a point about GME, was that upside in the minute, asking for that to be back above $30. It's really asking for a lot. Really is. Asking for it back above the baseline at the minute is asking for a lot, $27. And all of those things are very, very good, because asking for a lot means it's significant should you do it, whereas previously, it would have been expected, and now being below it gives it that significance. And so you get back above it, that's good, right? So a little bit like the dentist too, relief. Relief is better than like joy and whatnot. And for stocks, right, like, good news is all well and good, but how much does that relative value to the, this thing's currently trading at 26, which means that its market cap is now back above 8 billion, right? But when it's back down at 25, 24, and that, you're looking at, a market cap of like $1 billion less, nearly, or at least a big chunk of it. So is that really, why is that, right? Is it because like they didn't have the latest copy of Hitman 58 on pre-order or something? No, it isn't, right? Is that an equivalent value adjustment? No, it isn't. That would be an absurd commentary. So prices of stocks, their own elasticity, their own characteristics, and so this is why it's very positive. Then now start making it back above 27 and change. The whole narrative changes, especially if people in the write the articles and that don't have a clue what's going on. They think they do because price action's gone down, right? And they're like, "Oh, I'm a genius! I could call GME, blah, blah, blah." And they didn't have a clue, and most of the time they were wrong, but they happen to be right, and they'd be like, "Yeah, totally," And like, this is why it's like you often forget it as a trader, and people on the outside can commentate on it and see like maybe sometimes think it's like maybe easier than it is, because it is a question of tracking the trend, and if you've got nothing to lose, then it's very easy. Yeah, look, that's understandable. After all, the guy who wrote it was one of the best of the group by some distance, but no, it's not successful in outside of the institution because trading for yourself is different. We can take care of my teeth when I was young. I don't really like their trading strategy style, but that's personal. But boom, got a big ego in the end. It was overly technical. Boom, damn. But this me. This sounds like me. Is the industry covered for healthcare, where you guys are okay? Not really, it was in like 1967 or 1968, was it, that they took the dentistry out of the NHS, and one of the principal architects of the NHS, can't remember her name, resigned as an MP because free for all, the point of access for all forms of healthcare is the point of the NHS, and your teeth are part of that just because it's like a commercial avenue to changing it. So, I think it was quite a funny story actually, because at the time, it was after the Second World War they introduced that, and a lot of people just went and got gold teeth and like slapped on brand new set of teeth. Loads of people got their teeth. It was the best increase in oral hygiene for a generation ever in those 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 years before they got rid of the NHS dentistry stuff. But yeah, it is covered for people that are on like absolute lowest benefits or whatever, but it isn't to any significant degree. You get their old magnesium fillings, and the doctor punches them into your teeth if you're on the benefits, but you get them for free. Whereas you get nice music and them like slowly placed delicately into your teeth with some other amalgam. Anyway, this isn't the dentistry show, though dentists do tend to drink a lot and that. I suppose it's what I got from staring in people's faces all day into them. Would you also take a look at MCD? Thinking it's a great shopping opportunity as well. Oh, well, you see, MCD. We already looked at MCD and got the better part of the moves on the MCDs. This was the low, this was the highs. Daily time frames, we called the MCDs, and we called the high recently on the MCDs. Say recently, but could easily have been months ago. MCDs, we got a chart with MCDs on it? Maybe we do. We should have somewhere. Where is it? Oh, there's a flash down at 204, so probably gets that. So that's this 6 creepers. Is it? So, but while we're taking a quick look at it, yeah, I'd be careful with that daily time frame bearish diverge. But you lost the bullish control zone. Looks like a bull flag, but looks like a bit of a rejection. So we'll see how. Pardon me. 4 hour, what are you doing? It's all right, holding the basis line like that, not really retracing back down again. Instances potential continuation divergence. I'd say if it slips below 270, then you'd be looking at it possibly coming back down to 256. If it doesn't hold the 200 period moving average at 255, then maybe you're looking at it coming back towards those prior lows down here, somewhere on that way. Where was this dropped? That wasn't the low. This is the low. 236 is at the prior low here, so that's definitive area, and maybe you're targeting the flash or golden pocket retracement in and around those breaks, and that's the prior high, so I'd be looking at that for short moves. 200 period moving average probably support, and then in and around here you can see the BD6 from this move along with the golden pocket, which would also be relevant. That's around the golden pocket, it's around 200 period moving average. So this is what I'd be looking at. MACD 10 50-minute time frames. That's what it is. Pause the video. Pause the video. Those are important areas. This is the place to look to on a short-term trade. 255. Long-term, if it completely breaking down, you'll go via 230. As I say, you'll break the long-term 236. daily time frame, you break that formation, you come back down, maybe you would be targeting in at around 200. That'd be a huge trade. Huge trade. MACD, huge trade. Thank Rocky Outcrop for when it works out. Boom, boom, boom. Right, so I want to say thanks very, very much to Ace Ventura, who donated with the black cat. Good luck. Thank you very much, Ace. It's appreciated. Thank you. Always supports me. Thanks, Ace. Brilliant to have you here, Ace. JS, welcome back. Rocky, happy birthday. I missed that at the time. Oh my god, I'm so glad I saw it there. Thanks so much, JS. I get the $5. Welcome back, Rocky. And I get the $5. Thanks. Cheers, JS. Hope you're well, buddy. Good to see you. Great to see you. And there's another at trade point. And it was goes to Caribbean, but I just got out of my DOGE trades, but at least I'm up a healthy percentage. Do you see any good entries on the horizon trades point? Well, obviously that will depend on the whole overall crypto market, innit? DOGEUSDT, do I see any good entries on this thing? I mean, sure, like 0.02964 probably bounces to 0.4. That would be a huge move. That's potentially a good trade. That's a significant distance, a fifth of what it currently valued at, though. We would do our 50% retracements at a 50 simple pre-moving average on the daily time frame, so anywhere in around 0.8, 0.87877 sort of area. Maybe gets a little bounce back up to around 1. That'd be, 0.1. That'd be a big percentage move. All that sort of thing. Do I see any moves at the minute? I mean, it's like this dodgy. They're dodgy. I mean, you got your flash there. That's like your prior area of inflection point. If price action was to get there, and a dramatic move probably would also bounce 86 retracement in around 0.58, at which stage you could say, right, maybe it comes back up and tests that 236 or somewhere close to that area. If you'd made it there. Golden pocket retracement, a bounce to 0.7 from 0.58. That's a big move. So those sort of things. I mean, if you're looking for a long-term entry until such times to get enough Doge as you can until it completely takes over the world, well, I don't know. I mean, I'm a little bit disillusioned that Elon hasn't been in touch to say, like, come on the show and that. I mean, clearly the most interesting person on Twitter, and he owns Twitter, and surely there'd be some machine there that tells him that. So I'm a little bit, so I also got my phone number, because, he owns Twitter, and it's on my phone, and it has my number, text me. So he's got my phone number, so you can contact me anytime, got full permission to do that. Twitter's quite far-reaching in terms of service there. So I don't understand. I mean, it's quite perplexing, really, to be honest. I'm sure a lot of people feel like this, Well, I mean, actually, a lot of people will be like, oh, shit, like Rocky and I were saying, like, it's not all that much money to pay for, like, all the most important people in the world's DMs. Like, they definitely keep them in there, you know what I'm saying? And Elon Musk, like, he's sitting in his conservatory on his little Eames chair or whatever. Right, he's not sitting on one of those Tesla chairs in his conservatory. I'll tell you what, you get a sore bum. He's definitely not. Even if they are better than the originals. And then, so he's sitting on his steam chair and he's like reading the DMs. That was Jeffrey Epstein's DMs say. He knows. You just read them. That's easy. Did we really go to the moon? Just read that. Yes. Brilliant. Is Australia real? No, doesn't it? Boom. That. Boom. You just do that stuff. Amazing. That's well worth it, right? Just to see if Australia exists. Bargain. So there's brilliant videos out. Rocky Outcrop put a video about options bombers. You check it out if you're interested in football and trading and options. It's interesting. Last 8 minutes. It's really interesting. I put a 3-minute video about new series is coming on the channel. A lot of help from Rocky making that. And, all of it's a testament to everybody that drives us on from the Discord to Rising Tide. Hashtag Rising Tide. Rising Tide. Hashtag rising tags. That's it. Yeah. Well, shut up, Trace One. Right, so what a great show it was, eh? And you for that, nobody even asked for GameStop. That's just strange because it's the only videos anyone clicks on when I make them, but you don't ask for them when I do it. So I don't know what's wrong with you people. That just let me know you like the old GameStop, by faxing me and asking me for it every so often, innit? Good book, Corey. Enjoyable as, but I doubt the third one will ever be released. What's the third one? I must just ask yourself, how much would Elon must be willing to stop everyone else from reading his DMs? Damn tootin', eh? That's a good point too. And be able to read everyone else's. And the answer is obvious. 44 billion. Total bargain. Germany game was wild today. That's what I like. The Germans, eh? Uber rallies. Me too, Lucas. What was up with Japan? That's what I was interested in. Most of the books I read are substandard, to be totally frank. That's just because you read every book produced. John J. Murphy is a book that covers a lot of data without ever going into sufficient detail. It's so annoying. It's probably one I recommend, however. It's so annoying, though. You get to every chapter and you're like, but I know you're just messed up. You're more than fucking John. Same, I'd hit audio and listen to while I worked. Give him a hand. Read it 4 times. Good work. Lucas, which one was that? Reminiscences Stock Operator. Yes, brilliant book. Brilliant book. Brilliant book. So many lessons. So, right. Especially for someone who's been in the game a long time. Just like loads. So, and reading it at the start, I think is good. It gives people the idea, like, I could be in this for a long time. Anywho, he's American, there you'll find him. Well, so join Discord, that's what it's just. The course is on a discount. Shit, I forgot to tell you. That was close, the course. It's on a discount, 25% off. It's currently $1,000, so it's 25% off. That means it's $750, which is 25% off. But when the sale ends, the price of the course is going up. So that's like going to be a really whopping discount. And Rocky's working on doing things there for people on the course at the minute, trying to keep everybody totally satisfied. Amazing video, always great day when Jamie's live. Thanks very much, JD. Great to be live, great to be on here. Thanks, everybody. I'd like to thank all of you guys and Rocky. How do I join Discord? You can join for free, or you can join the paid side, which also gives you RO Flash and early access to the new stuff that's coming, and all the active trade stuff, and it gives you the RO Flash, but it gives you everything else too, and the paid side of Discord, and you should definitely check it out. And you get it via Rocky's Patreon at www.patreon.com/RockyOutcrop, and then you get the free side of Discord and just see what it's like if you're new to Discord, get used to using it and stuff like that, and seeing how it works, and see hello people on there, and say hello to the community, because the community is all there, and everybody on the paid side can see the free side, and to say, there's the link there, discord.gg/rockyoutcrop, and then boom, so click that. Everyone should click that because it's free, and you definitely get also like the top posts that get people who do like really good posts or get lots of attention, and they get onto the free one anyway. So you should always definitely check out the free one. And especially if you're on Discord, then you can just subscribe to that. It's definitely something everyone should do. For sure, right? But obviously, it's the only Discord I'm on. And people have said before, like, I've seen things people tweeting saying, like, these people's usernames are on this Discord, including me in it. And it's, like, patently false. I'm not in the Discord. And it's like, how can they even say that? Because people are going to turn up there and be like, well, where's TraceBot? Then? And I'm not going to be there. And I don't know why they're doing that. But they do it. And it happens every so often. So just ignore it. If you ever see anyone saying, hey, TraceBot's in this, it's not. I'm not in it. I'm in Rocky's Discord. That's it. So that's that. So that's what I was saying. So there's a discount on the course. When the discount ends, which is only for the first 25 people to get it, then the price of it's going to go up. And I feel bad, but that's just the way it is. Things far too cheap as it is. The discounts to celebrate Rocky's birthday. We talked about this. Anywho, right. So check it out. www.technicalanalysis.school. That's that. There's Doge. Is at 1 at the minute. If it breaks down, you can see that. Like, it's going to 0.5, 0.6. What's that flash at? 0.5982. It's Rocky Outcrop flash. I know it's breaking out of this downward sloping channel, and it could just retested the breakout zone, and it now could break out. And if it breaks 0.1155, having double tested this breakout zone, push up could go miles up, right? Could go miles up. I think it'd be very unlikely to get back above 2.6, 0.26, but it could. And this would be a great setup, but it isn't, because Rocky Outcrop flash there at 0.69. You see, so when it starts moving, like, that's the place to look to. 4-hour time frame, can't ignore it. Definitely there. Amazing Discord, thanks. Jake, damn right, I would cry if I had to leave. You can't leave, don't shut up. Cry, no crying. A put side cost less than opening and closing a trade in 2001 costs. The paid side costs less than opening or closing a trade in 2001 costs. Yeah, paid side of Discord's not all that expensive. Just on the Discord alone level's not that expensive, and if you're serious about trading, like Rocky says, it's the same price as opening and closing one trade. And, like, you're definitely going to get more value than that out of it. So that's I mean, it sells itself really to people who understand the value of money. It sells itself, right? So check it out. Definitely check it out. And it's free. So, hey, lots to love. Hit the like button. More back for more of the same tomorrow. And if you've got anything, you can always ask me, just as everybody else did earlier. Jackie and Ace, just an 8 didn't ask me. Jackie, Ace, Merrick, Kitties, JS. Who else did I miss? Anyone? Kitties, Derek, JS. Oh shit! Chat box doesn't scroll up any further. What? That's stupid. What's this YouTube? I have any more? Why? So stingy. Right. Thanks. Brilliant. Seeing everybody. Well, thank you.